That's 1 shiny. That's 2 shiny. That's my IUD was 2 centimeters, pretty much fit as a fiddle. Really recommend the period cup. Top pick, I would have to say though. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is Friday, and let's see what showed up last night for our sleep report. I did put out a Mimikyu incense. Oh my gosh, I forgot to do my lashes. My eyes look a little bare. I at least curl my lashes if I'm not wearing mascara, but I did not curl them. I totally forgot. Yeah, I put out a Mimikyu incense last night. There's only 4 bars left, so I didn't bother plopping down a friendship incense either. I just put in a recovery incense just so that I can meet the incense objective goals of using 7 of them for this week. So let's see whether or not anyone is hungry at all. Holy cow, that's a shiny Magnemite. And I can't tell if that's a shiny Pikachu either, but that looks like a freaking shiny Pikachu. Oh my gosh, that's a shiny Bellsprout. Okay, let's see if they're all shiny. Cause if I think that's a freaking triple shinies, you guys. You know what, it would have been so cool if the Mimikyu came shiny, but I don't want to complain. That is pretty cool too. 3 shinies in one session. At least I think that Pikachu's a shiny because it's abnormally... Okay, let's see. That's 1 shiny. That's 2 shiny. That's free. Oh my gosh, that's 3 shinies in this. I could barely speak. Okay, so we are going to... Holy cow. I've never had these many 3 shinies in one area. This is like my 3rd shiny Bellsprout. The shiny Hat Pikachu, that is a nice surprise. And I never got a shiny Magnemite, so let's hope that this is good so that I could use it. But first, let's catch our Mimikyu with the bonus biscuit. We're not going to use the bonus biscuit on the shinies because shinies are always a guaranteed catch. So this is technically Halloween's night session. So I definitely got treated very well instead of trick, unless the trick is that these shinies are absolute doo-doo. But now it makes me wonder how many other people experience something like this, you know? But oh my god, how cool. Alright, and now for our shiny Magnemite. I think out of the 3, definitely my favorite is the shiny Magnemite, because I haven't caught one yet. So this is the first. The shiny Halloween Pikachu is nice too. Kind of a nice flex. But shiny Bellsprout, that is like my 3rd one. My 3rd one. Holy cow. Alrighty, so that is our Halloween session. Let's get into checking out the sub skills and nature. We are going to do... I want to show off my shiny, but at the same time I feel like people might prefer a Mimikyu candy. I'll do shiny Pikachu. I'll do shiny Pikachu. It always feels good when you're not expecting anything at all. Alright, so let's see. It is a docile nature. And we got apples and mushrooms. skill trigger S, ingredient finder S, helping speed inventory up, and then skill level up at the very end. They're all S's. And the nature is docile, so it is a neutral nature. I mean, I'll definitely find better. Alright, now for our shiny Halloween hat Pikachu. It's a hardy nature. This is a berries Pokemon. So we got apple, gingers, and apple. We have ingredient finder S, helping speed S, ingredient finding M, not needed, skill trigger S, and then helping speed M at the very end. If only the helping speed M were a little bit up. And this is also a neutral nature. Am I ever going to use it? Probably not, to be honest. Okay, this is the shiny Magnemite. This is a bold nature. Forget what bold is. So it is herbs and oil. We got ingredient finding S, skill level up S, inventory up L, inventory up S, and skill level up M at the very end. That is way too late. But it is a speed of help down nature. That is not good. I do not like that. So it looks like we're not going to be able to use our shiny Magnemite. Let's see what our shiny Bellsprout has in store. It's a modest nature, so that's an ingredient up. But I think that's speed of help down. We will see. So it is a potato farmer. We got energy recovery bonus, ingredient finding S, helping speed S, inventory up, and then helping bonus at the very end. Why is it that the skills I would want in the top of the list are always at the bottom? And then yeah, ingredient finding up and speed of help down. So are our catches any good? No, but was that exciting? Yes, that was quite exciting. And I'll take it, you know, it was a little bit of a trick and a bit of a treat. No, it was a treat in the beginning before we turned into a trick. So that was pretty much my Halloween. I took out my Quaxquaval because I wanted to farm leeks, just so that for Sunday I'm prepared to make the, I believe it's called the Zip Zap Soda. And before I pick up any more ingredients, I'm just going to make breakfast for our team. So we are going to make, I'm gonna save my eggs for Sunday, so I'm not gonna make the Jigglypuff fruit flan. I can make the Lovely Kiss smoothie, or I can work towards leveling up my Neroli restorative tea, which is probably what I want to do, since it does outscale the Lovely smoothie. So let's just shove in some apples. Ideally, I should be doing the popcorn, but my corn farmer just doesn't produce enough corn. I was trying to say foreign, but the other best thing would be the early bird coffee jelly, but I don't really have a coffee finder, so this is the second, third, fourth best thing for us. The reason why I didn't do it sooner was because at the time I didn't have Pokemon that were farming those ingredients quick enough compared to what I was able to do for the Lovely Kiss smoothie. But now I'm in a better position, so I am able to. Also, I didn't realize that this can be used more than once. The Moonlight skill. I thought it was like a special thing and then it resets after the day, but my Orion's been doing it several times a day sometimes. So we got more handy candy, which is good. We need to use 2 more incense for that remaining 5 candy. And we need to finish this. Need to befriend 2 more Pokemon. I was hoping that because I had dozing last night, I would have been able to encounter a Drifloon at least, but that was not in the cards for us. So let's see what we get today. There is some noisy construction back there. We got 20 diamonds, which is good. Always nice to see diamonds. And let's take a look at my team. Oh, let's do date registered. And that is the gang. Oh, so this is last year's Pikachu. The orange hat Pikachu. Let's star all of our shinies. And very bummed that our Mimikyu, it's not really something I could use. Then we have our Pikachu here, our 2024 one. Ideally for me, I would want a main skill up nature for this, with skill trigger and skill level up. And, you know, a girl could dream, but berry finding and helping bonus would be really nice as well. I don't really care about the ingredient list. Although, in a perfect world, I would want it to be the coffee. So if I did care, that would be what I would care about. So our Snorlax is now Master 12. We are doing a little bit slower in progress than we usually do, simply because we are on a dessert week, and desserts are actually not my best anymore. They used to be until I got better with curries and stews, as well as salads. Got a lot better. So my best is salads right now, and then it's curries, and then it's desserts. Which kind of sucks because the dessert category is actually my favorite. But let's go through the sleep tab. I actually made some matcha today. So this is our matcha. You know what? I didn't know that most plant-based milks need to be used within 7 days of opening. I just thought that was my particular brand of oat milk that I usually like to get. But I got another brand because I wasn't able to get the brand that I like. And I just noticed in the back of the packaging, it also said to use within 7 days after opening. So I actually do not remember how many days it was since I last opened that. So we are hoping that it's still good. It's still good. That is delicious. Let me lower the brightness a little bit. There you go, so it's not flashing too much in my face, or maybe that didn't even make a difference. But let's get straight into the sleep research. Let's see who else got lucky for Halloween's sleep session last night. Oh, Vulpix, I haven't seen that in a while. So that's actually pretty helpful because I am in need for more Vulpix candy in order to raise my Ninetales. And yesterday, what happened yesterday? Oh yeah, so I went to the doctor's office. We did a little bit of a catch up. She was able to tell me that the cyst in my left ovary isn't anything alarming. So I do not have PCOS, which is really good. Nothing that I need to be concerned about. So I'm happy to hear that. I initially started going to the doctors because I noticed irregular bleeding patterns when I was not on my strawberry week, and that was a little alarming to me because I didn't experience that before. So that's why we ran some tests to see what could be the cause of that, and the ultrasound found that 1, my IUD was 2 centimeters too low, and 2, we found a cyst in my left ovary. We also did some blood tests. It turns out that everything was good. My thyroids are good, iron levels are good, and my hormone levels are good as well. So that is very good news. I am pretty much fit as a fiddle. And I have the papers now with me, so it's good that I have everything documented as well. So in terms of what we think happened that was causing the bleeding, I think it was just the IUD getting lower. And how that happened, you may ask, especially if you are also a girl who bleeds. I use something called a period cup when I'm on my strawberry week because tampons and pads are just not doing it. Especially pads, like, oh my god, I can't believe for a good majority of my life, before period cups were even an option, we were using pads. And that kind of just blows my mind because imagine sitting in a wet diaper. You cannot convince me that there is any pad out there that does not take away that moist sensation down there. And now looking back, it just feels like centuries ago since I've last had to experience that. So thank God for the innovation. Thank God that I'm in an era where we have period cups, because that is life-changing. Like, if you haven't tried it yet, I really recommend the period cup. There is a little bit of a learning curve, but you quickly get used to it, to be honest. And this is coming from someone who's never really used a tampon either, just because I did not like how you feel the string. I know a lot of people say, oh, you don't feel the string. I don't know. I felt the string and I hated it. Period cups though, the best thing. There's also period underwear that I know some people use and swear by, if that is also an alternative that you want to check out. But what had happened was my previous IUD was inserted by a general practitioner, and she initially didn't cut the string because usually you don't need to. And keep in mind that this was also around the time where period cups were new to the market as well. So for all we know, it didn't really affect our IUDs or like the string, right? But I did do a lot of Googling, because I was very much afraid of getting the IUD inserted, because I've heard horror stories and I've watched horror stories on YouTube about women getting their IUDs and they're not numb down there, because if you don't know, they basically, oh my gosh, Navel got a shiny Drifloon, there's your Halloween treat. So very nice to see that. But yeah, they basically open you up kind of like they do with the pap smear, if you've ever experienced a pap smear test. But then they use this tongue that grabs onto your cervix, so you feel this weirdest sensation of pinching that also kind of feels like burning, and you're bleeding. So this causes some bleeding onto the cervix as well from the pinching of it. And then they have to measure your cervix, so you feel a bit of pressure. And then afterwards, they insert your IUD and you feel even more pressure. And then some symptoms you can experience after is light bleeding, which is normal, and cramping, which I did experience. So they recommend that you take some painkillers, or not painkillers, that's a little extreme, some sort of like Advil or something of the sort, you know, just to alleviate the cramping. And I'm very fortunate that both times that I got my IUD inserted, I did not experience a tremendous amount of pain. But I have heard stories of other girls who either blacked out, they got super dizzy afterwards, that they had to like lay down for a couple seconds or minutes. And some people just experienced the most excruciating pain they've ever experienced in their life, okay? So I was very scared, but then the first time I was like, what? That was it? So I'm very lucky and I'm fortunate that I didn't have to experience that. Then again, it's very different for everyone and also depends on the general practitioner as well. But this is my first time getting it removed before inserting a new one, because it's not sanitary for you to remove your existing one, only to replace it back. So yeah, my IUD was low. We are thinking maybe this was the cause of my irregular bleeding and sometimes cramping 2 weeks before my actual period comes, which was very annoying, because then I felt like I only really had like one good week throughout the entire month. So we got that replaced yesterday, and it was a little bit more painful. I would say like 0.5 more painful than it was the first time I've got it done, but it was definitely doable, like less scary than going to the dentist and getting your needles for numbing when you're getting your cavities done. So very happy that that was a pretty much almost painless and quick process. And I'm scheduled to do another ultrasound in about a month from now, just to make sure, just to monitor the cyst in my ovary, as well as making sure that the IUD is in the place it's supposed to be and that my body hasn't rejected it or pushed it. So yeah, we will see if this truly causes or reverses that weird bleeding situation I've been experiencing. So that's an update on the women's health stuff. It was definitely something that's been causing me quite some stress for the past couple months, only because I was like, why am I bleeding like this? And it's not my period, and it's not going to be my period until 2 weeks. So yeah, the suspect was the IUD. Now, before I even ever got my IUD inserted, I did a lot of research, okay? I did a lot of research on Reddit, videos, of YouTube, of women who use the IUD as well as use the period cup. And at that time, I haven't seen any instances of, and this was like 3-4 years ago, but I haven't read any instances or stories of women who have experienced what I've experienced or had their IUD lowered because of the cup. However, I did see a lot of comments saying be careful to make sure you break the suction seal of your cup before removing it, just so that you don't accidentally tug on the string. I think that's probably what was happening to me without me noticing, because sometimes you just want to remove it quickly so you don't break the seal, or you don't notice that there's a seal because it's just coming out easily. So I have to be super careful now. This time around, we did trim the string just to make sure that we avoid that from happening. But for any of you guys who are on the IUD and you're using the period cup, make sure you break the seal. Be careful about that. And if you also experience irregular bleeding, maybe check that out. Maybe your IUD just slipped a little bit like mine did and you got to get it reinserted. This is a day after. I'm doing a lot better now. A couple hours after I had my new IUD replaced, I was experiencing a little cramping, so I had to take it easy and I just had to enjoy my time horizontal. And in case you're curious, my IUD is the Mona Lisa Mini. I got the 5 years. That was the one I originally had the first time around as well. And I'm very happy with the 5 year. It's a copper IUD, so there's no hormones being inserted. Previous methods of birth control I've taken in the past were birth control, like the actual pill with the sugar pills and stuff. But I stopped that because I just did not like the idea of pumping hormones into my body. And it got to the point where initially I didn't have side effects early on, but later on I did realize that I was experiencing with pretty bad mood swings. But other than that, yeah, my decision to get off it was simply because I did not want to pump in all those hormones. There's like so many side effects, like blood clotting is one of them too, and that's like pretty scary. Do I want to risk my life and gamble on a blood clot? And I do not. So that's why I went with the IUD option. I heard about it from a colleague of mine who really changed my mind about IUDs, because up until that it was like such a scary thing. If you know, it was a scary thing, okay? But yeah, that's enough about that. I know most of my actually, right now, I have 20% women and 70% men. So for the 20% of you women listening, or if you are 70% of the men and you're dating someone who has a period and you realize that she has been expressing these concerns as well, show her this video. Show her this video. And you might be getting some brownie points from that. But another thing I wanted to talk about, because it is the fall season, which means fall perfumes are something that you want to transition to if you want, because sometimes it's weird to wear something citrusy or florally in the summer. In the fall. I heard that Replica or Maison Margiela came out with a new perfume called Afternoon Delight. And it is supposed to be, this was, I think, their response to people wanting something sweet and lactonic. So I was pretty excited for this. I went to Sephora just to browse yesterday, and actually, no, I got setting spray. I got the one size setting spray. I used it today. I couldn't even tell if anything was coming out. I felt a cold sensation, but I didn't feel like wet water droplets on my skin, and it dried very quickly. So I don't know, I guess it's like doing a very good job. But they gave me the samples of the Afternoon Delight, and I was very excited because there was like a lot of, they were doing like marketing stuff about this, okay? So it's supposed to be a warm vanilla Madeline. In the style description is memory and fragrance, but I believe they always do that. So the little slip in here says warm notes of vanilla Madeline and precious sandalwood. The joyful and cozy feeling of a moment of self-indulgence in a Parisian cafe brings you back to your sweetest memories. So I love Madelines, and I was thinking maybe I would like this. I tested this on my arm. I hate this. I'm sorry to say, and hate is a strong word, but it is not often that I come across a perfume that I'm just like, I do not like this. I would not even give these samples away. It gave me a headache. I felt like, Hey, you know what? I'll give it its flowers in the sense that the staying power of this thing is pretty strong. Because I sprayed it on here, and then I took a shower and the smell was still lingering and it was giving me a headache. But I don't know, there's just something so like artificially sickeningly sweet about it. It does kind of smell like Madeline, but not in a good way. Like in a way where it's like, I don't know, I imagine plastic Barbie dolls, and they have food, and the food smells like something. This is what it would smell like to me. So maybe if I were like young, I would enjoy this, but I don't know, the scent is just not for me. But if you are on the lookout for a good fall perfume, I have two that I recommend. One that is more affordable, one is more on the indulgent side for those who like to indulge in perfumes like I do. So the first one is Deadcool's Taunt. I love this. I got the travel size, and as you can see, it is very well loved. So let me take out the page really quickly. So when it comes to Deadcool's Taunt, it says this is a creamy and alluring scent. Watching vanilla clouds in a citrus sky, it smells like daydreaming about your first perfume, and it feels like a coming of age story. So in terms of notes, the top note is bergamot, fresh dew, and then the middle is floral and cassis, although I don't really pick up floral. And the bottom is vanilla and amber, which brings out that like warm, sweet vanilla spice to it, kind of. I would say it's not too spicy, but there is like this little kick of spice that is nice and not too harsh on the nose. And sometimes when I sniff it, it leans a little bit aquatic because of the fresh dew, but the bergamot really lifts it up and makes it not entirely a warm, spicy scent. And I could see why they describe this as a coming of age scent, because I just imagine like you are in your early 20s, you are looking for a more mature perfume, but not something too mature. This is really great because you still get that sweet, playful essence of vanilla, but I feel it's really the amber that brings about that mature coming of age scent that they're trying to evoke through words. But it's just such a beautiful scent. It is really a cozy, skin warm vanilla scent that is perfect for fall, and I love it. I also have the Atelier cologne. Their vanilla is really good that you can use all year round, and it smells a little similar to this, although I would say this leans a bit more warm because of the amber. So super love this. I've been using it a lot lately. And this one is Eau Dwell by Diptyque. I received this last year for Christmas actually, and around that time I was circulating through different perfumes, and then spring quickly came, so I didn't get a lot of opportunities to wear this. However, I did wear it, so there's a little bit of a dent that's made. And this is definitely a stronger quote-unquote boozy vanilla. It is much more spicy. There's a fresh spiciness to it, a warm spiciness to it. And if I pull up the notes here, it is an aromatic vanilla, fresh spicy, warm spicy, balsamic. It is, I would say after it dries down, you get that powderiness. And some people say like soft and sweet spicy as well. But they use bourbon vanilla, which makes it's a different vanilla than you would smell in this one, to be honest. This one is more vanilla that you associate with like candies or just like pure vanilla. The bourbon vanilla smells definitely much more mature, and I feel like that is what brings out the boozy quality of it. But this is beautiful. And this is like fall in a bottle, truly, because of all that spiciness to it. But it's not spiciness in a chai way, it's more spiciness in a peppery, almost incensey way. The Eau de Parfum version does have incense in it, so it does smell darker than this if you prefer something that has more of a spicy kick. I feel that the spiciness of it kind of lingers away as it dries down, which I kind of prefer, because I like that powdery, aromatic sweetness that the dry down offers for this one. So top pick, I would have to say though, for the price and smell, Dead Cool Taunt. Beautiful vanilla, and I'm pretty picky about my vanillas as well when it comes to sweet scents. And Eau Duelle Diptyque for those who want to splurge a bit more. I also smelled the new Glossier scents that they came out with, and I have to say I was a little disappointed. So much so that I don't even remember what it smells like, because when I sniffed it for the first time, I was just like, that's it. So yeah, I was very excited about the new perfumes because, as you know, I love the Glossier You. It was love at first sniff. There was just something so comforting and familiar about it. And I always get a lot of compliments whenever I wear it. It is the ultimate cozy scent that you could wear on your skin, and I love it. But the new scents they came out with, it was very underwhelming. So yeah, that is the mini perfume review. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I don't know why I keep saying us. I'm just one person. I am a she. I am a her. It's just I. But thank you guys so much for joining me in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed everything I talked about. And yeah, I'm glad to shed light on my little health scare if that means that I'm able to help someone out. So share this video with someone if you know that they've been experiencing something like this, or even considering getting an IUD while using the period cup. Share this video as well, just so that they are aware of certain complications and what to expect as well. Give this video a like, a comment, and a subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel for the 3 shinies that we got today. It is such a great way to end the week, honestly. 3 shinies, that deserves a subscribe. So please like, comment, subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video, which is probably going to be either Monday or Tuesday. So until then, enjoy your weekend. I'm hanging out with a girlfriend later today, my best friend, and we're going to have some fun. I think my boyfriend's hanging out with his besties too, so we're just having a besties day. And then weekend, I'm gonna take it easy. But thank you guys so much for joining me again in this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. The light is going crazy. So until then, take care, good luck, and have fun. Bye.